Hello, 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 and welcome to 500 Doors, formerly known as Kim Talks Real Estate. But 500 doors, behind every door is opportunity here at our real estate podcast. I am so grateful that you are taking a bit of your time to listen and lean in to our 500 Doors community. Today's show is brought to you by Fabulous Hair. No, I'm joking, but it is a great hair show day. So you're in for a treat. 500 Doors, just so you know, here we talk about the obtainable and sustainable, socially responsible real estate. How do we build better communities, serve our clients, and achieve the reality of the dream for many people in homeownership or real estate investment? Now, if you get a chance, I do want you to check out 500-doors.com. If you're a new agent, which we know there's going to be a couple 100,000 of you, if you're a new real estate agent, or if you're just looking, how do I level up? Like, what is the piece I'm missing? What is somebody not telling me? Check out 500-doors.com, and I'd be happy to share with you this funny little webinar on there. Don't take it too seriously. It's kind of corny, but you know what? I love a good production value, and I should have been in music theater. So, speaking of theater and somebody who can entertain, today's guest, we're going to spin this out a little bit different, is a licensed real estate agent, but has an incredible insight that kind of, when opportunity presents, you need to grab it. John has taught seminars for realtors across the US and Canada that has had over 400 signups in each class. He's been interviewed on how to market yourself in Spanish. Doesn't even speak Spanish, so that's a skill in itself. For the command in Espanol. I don't speak Spanish either. I apologize, folks. Being from Kansas, I'm lucky I speak English as well as I do. And he taught a class on TikTok for his office, and TikTok is now outperforming YouTube and almost every other platform, and it is the platform we should definitely be paying attention to. John has generated over 300,000 views year to date on Reels alone. Wouldn't you like to have that number of eyeballs looking at you? John has a passion for enlightening the unenlightened and posts multiple short form videos daily. I am dying to get him in here because me being old school, I like everything to be kind of perfect. Is my hair good or anything? And I struggle with just these quick videos. Although I did just find a really cool video editor because I don't have. I'm sorry, John. I'm still on Windows. I know that's a bad word. My son keeps trying to tell me it's time for Apple, Mom. I do have an Apple phone though.
Okay, there we go. That's a start.
I'm not a on the fly kind of gal. I can't figure out how to edit and get things, and then it just doesn't happen. Like, I'll get off. You know what, John? I'll get off today's podcast, and I'll be excited because I'm going to learn so much from you. And I'll go on and I'll do something on my phone, and then I won't have a clue how to get it out. So, first, licensed real estate agent, and you've had an incredible journey this year that took you in a totally different direction that you weren't planning a year ago. So I'm super excited to dive down this. First, tell us who you are and what market, what part of the country, where you're at.
Yeah, so I mean, thank you for the amazing, amazing introduction. First of all, and again, thanks for the opportunity to come onto the show. So I'm a licensed realtor out of Connecticut, specifically Stamford, so Lower Fairfield County. Just think right next to New York City. I'm about a 45-minute drive into New York City, no traffic. And so that's who I am. I'm also a real estate investor as well, part of my local RIA here in Connecticut, which is a Real Estate Investor Association. And I'm also a podcast host, so that's who I am.
All righty. So we know who you are. Okay, now let's dive a little bit real quick. How many kids in your family?
2.
Two. So you have a sibling.
Yes.
And Your mom, what does she think of everything that's gone in your life? I want something that you haven't shared with anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, something full transparency. I was raised by my grandparents. I live with them, so there's a start. But my grandparents, they at
Awesome.
first, they were kind of they were kind of against the road I traveled down because I took the untraditional route. I was mid-year, way through my sophomore year of college, and then I left school. It's middle of the pandemic. Teachers didn't know how to use Zoom, and I started learning how to teach myself. And I was like, why not bet on myself? So I pretty much decided to sign up for my real estate course, stop showing up to my college classes, and never looked back. And they were against it at first. They were against the whole idea. My grandparents are very, very traditional. They were immigrants born and raised in the Dominican Republic, then came here. Um, and so they were really against anything. And at first, it were like they would always like throw sly comments like, "Oh, the professional," but in Spanish. I speak Spanish at home, and so they were, "Oh, the professional," "Oh, the licensed guy," and so they would kind of be sly. And then they started seeing the traction pick up, and then there was like, "Oh, oh, okay." And now it's like they're starting to get more, I guess, respect and more support from them on that side of things in terms of all the things that I'm doing now because they're starting to see it all unfold in front of them.
Well, and this is, you actually touched on something that's very, very true for a lot of real estate agents in general.
Mhm.
When we go in, we're taught to do the friends and family circuit.
Mhm.
And the older you go, so when you're 50, actually the response is similar to when you're 20, because they're looking at you going, "Oh, I don't know about this." And when you're 50, they go,
Mhm.
"Well, haven't you done this, right? Because we're going to have 7 or 8 or 9 things. If you're lucky in this life, you're going to have all these different career opportunities. And if anything that the younger generation is showing us is that you don't have to pick one. You could do
Mhm.
multiple." So, getting the friends and family. So, and you just blew right through that, and you proved that because you're the face. Just so you know, one of my favorite coaches in the business, I'm going to put a plug in for Brian Buffini, one of my absolute favorite coaches. He
Mhm.
landed in New York, an immigrant from Ireland. I think he was like 19 when he started real estate, and he's one of the top coaches in like the world for real estate, and
Mhm.
he's hilarious. I love the guy. My goal someday is actually, Brian, if you ever listen to this, maybe somebody will send it to him. My goal someday is actually to have a podcast with him, because he is so cool. Or even maybe get to be on stage with him. Maybe I'll bring his water out to him. But so
Maybe you'll
let's talk.
present with them.
That would be so amazing. I absolutely adore him and his whole story and everything. And he's just so comedic and fun and light. And I get that energy from you, that you're fun. We have enough serious garbage in the world. Let's have some fun, folks. So let's go into what you're doing, because it's very different. First of all, I have to commend you. Most people do not close any transactions in their first year. There's actually a disproportionate number of people that cannot get any traction in the first year, but you did. But it's led you on a different journey. So it's kind of interesting. Share with us what you do.
Yeah, so my first year in the business as a typical real estate agent and you're looking through a realtor eyes, it wasn't your most productive year. So I've closed 3 rentals. I've been fortunate and thankful. One of them was my best friend, and then another 2 clients that were referred to me by other agents in the office. But this first year, it all started with this social media and the podcasting thing. I was all building that up kind of while I was, being a licensed agent. I'm also still working a second job. My first 2 months, I was working almost 55 hours in my other 2 jobs, so it didn't really. My time was not in real estate at all. And then about January of this year is when my podcast started, but is when I made a Facebook post showing 5 quick social media tips. And now I don't remember what those tips were. I just remember there was 5 quick tips. And one of the um, co-hosts of a mastermind called Early Birds Talking Real Estate, which is held every Monday through Friday at 6:30 a.m. on Clubhouse. One of the co-hosts, Lee Corey, asked me, "Hey John, can you teach a seminar on this?" And I was like, "I never taught a seminar before. I never taught a class." And she was like, "John, just let us know when you want it scheduled." And so when a top producing agent, she's out of Boston, tells you to do something, and I'm in the other side of things where I'm still brand new. It's like my only answer was like, yes, I have to do this class. And so from there, my first class, it was on just intro to video in general. social media is something I want to do, build my business on. So it was right in my, in my up my alley. And I had over 440 agents sign up for my class, and that led to me teaching another class which had another 400 agents sign up, and then it led to me getting interviewed in Spanish, and then teaching a class for my office, and teaching a class for dual career agents, and teaching my first paid class. And now, once I'm able to start closing some deals and get some more leverage, that's going to branch off into my own like media company, where now I'm going to start for my next class. I'm already projecting to start marketing to other industries such as lenders and just small business owners and entrepreneurs. And so that's going to grow into something way beyond real estate. On the podcasting side of things, and that was a passion project, and it started recently getting a lot of traction, like late July and August. And now I'm at a point where, one, I'm getting interviewed on another person's podcast, very fortunate and thankful. But then two, I'm getting guests. My guest that's dropping in 2 weeks from the day of this recording has over 160,000 followers on Instagram. So it's like I've been able to open doors to so many other opportunities and network with so many amazing, highly successful individuals, that the transaction count to me, doesn't really mean much, because that connections that I've been able to make, and the people that I've been able to meet, and the opportunities and doors I've been able to open are going to lead into something so much bigger than real estate, later on down the road.
Well, and transaction count, I mean, you can do one deal in California and it's equivalent to like 40 in Ohio. So, you know, I think you've really tapped into something that, as we have more real estate agents coming on, we have these mega agents, right?
Hmm.
And the mega agents have these big giant teams. So basically, a mega agent is a brokerage when you think
Yeah,
about it, because they're providing all the
essentially.
info. Essentially, that's what they are. Um, but I am of the mindset that there's room for whoever wants to come, as long as they understand and respect what the industry is. It's not, this is not a job. This is a choice and a lifestyle. And when you're stepping into the wealth and happiness quotient quotient of other people's lives, you have a certain responsibility, right? It's fascinating how many people I see get a license, and it's literally just so they could make a quick buck off of all their family or all their friends.
Hmm.
Um, and they don't look at the industry and go, what can I give back? How can I serve this amazing opportunity of this industry? And I love, and that is what you're doing, is you're giving insight and leverage to agents that are established in their market and that can further their messaging out there, and agents who want to be established.
Hmm.
So it's very, very cool. And like I had said, we had talked before this, and uh, anybody who knows me knows that I'm not the best at social media. I have Social media is very much a love hate uh, uh, relationship for me, because I sit here and I go, but I don't look like the hot girls on Instagram. It's not going to ever happen. I mean, there is no such thing as a time machine. If somebody does have one, I will forfeit all three children and my left kidney if there is a time machine, but I'm pretty sure there isn't one. So the reality is that there's a lot, for me, there's a lot of intimidation, a lot of uncomfortability, and a lot of social media got very um, negative over COVID. So I kept clawing back. So let's go into your why, and then I want to talk about navigating social media, and then like what are some simple tips for somebody like me that can, because I know, what is it real estate agents are looking for? Leads, consistency, and social media. Top three things every real estate agent says they have challenges with. And the consistency within social media is a
Hmm.
big challenge. So tell me why you've gotten this call. What does it spark within you
Yeah.
when you look at these new opportunities? Because now you've already kind of put it right out to the universe where we're going over the next 6 to 12 months. And I love the fact that you stated, this is what I'm doing. I'm
Yeah.
starting this company. I'm setting this up. But what does that spark within you? Why?
So my mission in life is to enlighten the unenlightened by helping people build wealth and think abundantly. That is what I believe my calling is. My mission, something that's beyond me. And I've always, I would have conversation with friends, and the beauty of creativity is that, at least in my case, it's when I'm talking to people, especially people my age, and they're telling me about their aspirations. Um, I'm just able to like try connect the dots for them, and that feeling just gives me so much joy, so much energy. It refills me, and I kind of learned that as I started reflecting more. The pandemic was a very unfortunate time, but for me, it allowed me to really take a look within myself and really self-reflect. And what I learned is that, one, I'm pretty good at this, and two, I have a voice for it, and three, it genuinely gets me going. Like if my friend, if I'm going to lay my head at 11 o'clock at night, and one of my friends were to call me and just have a life, need some life advice, uh, I could just get up and just have a full on conversation, full energy, because it rejuvenates me. It fills my cup, and so that's kind of my reason why. And as I've started, especially with the podcast, because that's something where you do where it's like you're just giving back, value. And I feel like a lot of people wait too long before they start giving back. I want to give back every step of the way, whether while I'm still at the beginning, up until I'm at the pinnacle of success and beyond, and then hopefully leave something behind when I pass that can continue helping people. Just like uh, you know uh, two simple quotes is like, leave the world a better place than when you first came in, and be selfless.
You talk about these the opportunities. You see the opportunities without the constriction of what a job is. And I think
Hmm.
that is one of the blessings that the younger generations, like the under 30, have, is that we, and this is a hard one for a lot of people who are over 40 to grasp. So we're in the second wave of resignations of women over 40 in corporate America. And there's this huge trend happening. They're going, I don't want to go back and be trapped in that. I don't want. I apologize, ladies, if somebody's listening to this and you're in corporate America. I don't mean trapped in a negative. I'm saying limited with the options of what you can do with your time.
Hmm.
And with and it's and with the pandemic gave everybody who does not think in that space of corporate America, of 9 to 5, of the industrial age where you work from 18 years of age to 60 years of age and then you get a pension. Because that's not the world we're in now. We're in the world, the age of knowledge.
Hmm.
With the age of knowledge and that 2 year where we advanced a decade in our use of technology because of the pandemic, we literally shifted
Entirely.
entirely. I love the fact that you said that it was a good opportunity for you. So, my question would be around, we've had time to sit and think. What are some of the limiting beliefs that you see in people when you're working with people who are a bit older? So that over 35 range, who did not grow up with Instagram. We had Facebook, but Facebook is more, it was developed to, it was developed on a university campus to roast people and rate people. So it's not like it was truly initially designed to be a vehicle for promotion, right? So, you know, what is it that you are hearing from some of the people that you are coaching and educating now within the tech space, within the social media space,
Yeah.
that
So
are the obstacles you're hearing?
Yeah, so fortunately for me, I have everyone when they sign up for one of these classes, I always say, what's the struggle point that you're currently struggling with social media before they sign up? And so I was able to kind of look through that, and I would just have the signups out before I actually made my classes. That way I can cater my classes to exactly what people are struggling in. And I say the biggest one, which is ironic because I'm getting a lot of top producers on in my classes is they don't know what to talk about. And it's ironic because these people are closing deals left and right. They, they have leads, they have listings on the market, they're closing deals, they're making commission income, and they don't know what to say, which is kind of confusing because if someone were to call their house, the number today and say, hey, I needed to list my house, or hey, I want to buy a house, they have every script in a book to go head on over and get that listing or get that buyer under agreement and start working with them. So it's like, it's kind of, you have to realize that if you're a licensed agent, even if you're brand new into the business, you passed the licensing exam, you took the course, there's things that that majority of society does not know. When you think of your typical consumer, they only move about maybe 3, 4 times in their life normally, right? So they're not going through this experience every single day, right? They're probably going through this once. I think the stat is people move once every 10 years, right? If you close one deal every year for 10 years, you have 10 times the experience they do. You're already more, experienced than what they, than the average consumer. And so knowing what to say is just pretty much, it's like literally one person that I followed is Glenda Baker on TikTok. And she literally just tells her stories of her, she's been in the business, I think, over 20 years. And she just goes and reflects to past times in real estate, funny stories, and uses those as examples because people learn with three things, right? They learn from questions, they learn from experiences, and stories. And so if you could just tell a story, you could be giving back so much information and value without having to come off as scripted or come off as disingenuine or not authentic. So tell some stories. What experience did you go through? I'd say the second big tip, as I see, is that a lot of people make videos on social media. Let's say they get over the fear, right? They figure out what to say, and they treat social media, especially short form videos, as if it was a cold call. And they don't even realize it. They get on the video, they'll prop their phone up, and it's like, hi, I'm John with Keller Williams here in Stamford, Connecticut. And I wanted to tell you about the housing market for 2022 and where home prices are going to go. If you were to pick up a phone and cold call someone and say, hi, my name is John Mendez, I'm with Keller Williams, what's their first response typically? It's most likely they're going to hang up. Some people might stay on the phone, but majority of people will hang up, right? If you're just cold calling a random stranger. Um, and it's the same thing with social media. People's attention span, you have about 3 seconds to grab their attention span. So if you're making these short form videos and your first 3 seconds is, hi, I'm John Mendez and I'm a real estate agent, you lost them. You have no reach now, and view average time viewed is the most important metric for short form video. You want people to actually watch through your entire video. The algorithm, whether it's YouTube Shorts, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform you want to go on, when they see that your viewing time is 100% or more, and people are actually rewatching your videos, that's when your content is going to be promoted and blasted out to a larger audience, right? So treat your videos to just get straight to the point, have an interesting hook, right? You want to grasp it in within the first 3 seconds, and that hook should be in the actual video itself, like in caption form, and then it should actually be you saying it if you were to make a talking video, and then give your quick 2 or 3 bullet points like, hey, mortgage rates are increasing, home prices are increasing, and inventory is starting to go back up, right? Those are 3 quick points, and then have a call to action and keep the video short and quick, concise. Make it a message. Don't use real estate verbiage in your videos. No one knows what a FISBO means. Assume that no one knows what any of these realtor acronyms that we all developed, expired listing. Just talk in normal people language as if you were a normal person. You just happen to be talking on the subject of real estate. So realize that you have experience even if you just got your license. Just talk about things you learn in the book. Literally just open up to a random page in the book and you could find topics there, right? So that's the first thing. You do have things that you can talk about. The second thing is they're treating social media as a cold call. So just get on there, have a hook, be genuine, give concise points, and then call to action on every short form video that you have. Even if it's a trendy like reel where you're lip syncing, put in a caption, follow for more or something. You should always have a hook, and you should always have a call to action, and you should always be providing some form of value.
Okay, I love that. So when you develop funnels, folks. So in the world, every time that you see something you like on Facebook, Instagram, when you're Googling, whatever, right? I know that when you go into click funnels, where you go into a funnel, it's hook, story, close. Hook, story, close. So I love the fact that you use the hook, and I didn't realize that the hook should always be printed on there. So that is like this is serious gem drops here, though. Like bam, like there's so much going on. Um, let's talk scheduling. Do you have do you use a scheduler, or is everything impromptu?
So everything for the most part is impromptu on my personal page. On my podcasting page, I split the short form videos from the interviews that I do, and I always upload everything manually. So my podcasting page is pre-recorded content. On my personal page, which is all real estate related, is impromptu. And so, but I always post them manually because one, first of all, I think it wasn't until maybe the latest Instagram update, like this month or last month, or July, I think it was, where you could use schedulers to automate your reels. You could do it with regular still photos and carousels and things like that, but you couldn't do it with reels. I think now specifically you can do them with reels. So there's that obstacle that now is overcome. And then the second is when you use a scheduler, your reach drops because social media can tell that it's not you posting them, it's a third party platform, and social media is meant to be social. They want you to be actually on it. So if you want to post a higher volume, that higher volume may you know be able to overcome the engagement that you're losing per post just because of sheer volume. But I usually manually post everything because you have a greater chance of reaching more people.
See, that's where my struggle is
Yeah.
being directly involved with social media. And I think that's a struggle that a lot of people have. Is there any kind of like support groups?
So I'm actually planning on starting like a Facebook group for just to go over Q&As for people. So that's kind of in the works right now, where I just like do like a weekly 30-minute Q&A. So if you need a support group, it's not out yet, but one day it will be, and I'll let him
You
know
know what,
definitely.
John? I'm going to put this right out there. I would love to invite you to do something in all of my platforms. I love your energy. I love your voice. I love the fact that you don't make it feel um, overwhelming. You make it feel like, okay, this is something I think I could do. I did start a TikTok page, and I think I got to like 10 videos. I had an in-house assistant that was 19 doing it for me. She moved out east, so she was doing a great job. One of the videos, it was crazy. It was totally off subject. She asked me, hey, Kim, what's your favorite thing about your husband? That video got so many comments and follows. It was crazy. And I was there going, maybe I'm in the wrong business. Maybe I need to be in like
Yeah,
some sort of
couples
couples
therapy.
pod. Yeah, it was hilarious that the number of comments. And so what are the if somebody's working to build brand, and by the way, every real estate agent out there, and I make this clear every time I speak, I do not believe that there is a single brokerage that is great without amazing agents. Period, point blank. There is not a brand that the brand itself sells the house. And I know they all spout it. Every single brand out there, every single brokerage out there says you wouldn't be able to sell without me. The reality is the agents, the people who are boots on the ground in front of everybody, are so invaluable to these brands, that that the audience, the people out there in the real world, they get to know you, like you, and love you, and they want to do business with you. Um,
Mhm.
what are some of the tips that you think, just getting ready for a video, like what is an aha moment? You were saying that you're impromptu, so what are some of the things that you go, oh, I should get this on video? What are some of the things that we should look for?
My main focus right now has been Instagram Reels, so I'm going to speak as if I were making an Instagram Reel video because those are the ones I do impromptu, right? So I'm on Instagram Reels. Let's say it's time to post. I usually time block it for right before I start my lead gen, so I can have a little bit of fun before I start making some phone calls, right? So I get on the Instagram app, and the middle widget right on the bottom of your screen is going to be the Reels widget. You click on that, right? And now you're seeing only Reels. Only things I look for is in the bottom left hand corner, and this doesn't, mean that you're automatically going to make a successful reel. I just rather not have to waste my time searching for one. I look in the bottom left hand corner, and I'm listening to sounds, and I'm looking to see if there's an upwards trending arrow. You'll see where the audio is. If on the left hand side of the audio, there should be an upwards trending arrow. If Instagram says that that post or that audio is trending, right? So I just scroll till I see one of those. So I see it, I listen to it. And it doesn't have to be something that's real estate related. One of my best videos was I can't sing, but I'll try to use my vocals a little bit. It's like I'm not gonna be here for long, and it's just a song, right? So I lip sync it, and then my caption was when someone shows up late to the open house, and it's me singing "I'm not gonna be here for long." And then my title was when someone shows up late for the open house, or like when someone shows up for 5 minutes left in the open house. That video has over 8,000 or close to 8,000 views already, and close to 200 likes and a bunch of shares and stuff like that. So it doesn't even have to be real estate related, just something that you can relate to real estate. So first I look for the bottom left hand corner, see if there's an upward trending arrow. And then I listen to the sound, and most of these audios are super quick. So that's when I'm doing like impromptu trendy stuff. When I'm doing impromptu speaking videos where I'm actually giving back in a message, I have something called Keeping Current Matters, and you can probably go on Inman News or something like that and just look up what's the new post of the day. And so Keeping Current Matters has like a blog that they update daily. So when I want to give a speaking message, it says I literally read the opening like line. I read like one or two parts of the middle of the blog, and then I read at the very end is usually a summary. So I just when I want to speak, I just literally what's the blog of the day, and I don't even think about it. This is the blog of the day. Okay, so this is my topic for today. I'm not gonna go through blogs the same way I go through my reels. That's the blog for today. That's the video I'm making, and then try your best. Here's a little quick tip to erase all the white space. So like let's say you have a long pause between you're speaking. So it's like the housing market is going to that little pause, like try to blank it out because people's attention span are short. And so the more white space that you have, the more likely you are to lose them. So try to like, if you have something, you don't have to get too creative or fancy, but try to like clip it out or clip it a little bit. So it's this the speaking doesn't stop. There's no white space. It's just information jam packed.
Amazing. You know what, folks? I could talk forever with John because I there's so much I need to learn, and I feel that you have all the answers. But we're going to plow through this real fast. We're going to do a rapid round here. What does community mean to you, John?
So community to me, and I'm very fortunate that I have found an amazing community called the Pivot Shift Group on Facebook. Community me to me is a bunch of people that are all like-minded and are all chasing success, whatever success means to them, through a similar method. So for us, all the people in the group is real estate, and it's a place where we can go to for advice on real estate. In our case, there's also a place where we could go through, and if we have a we lost a loved one, or we're going through hardship or something. There's people to support you in all that you do and all your endeavors through the ups and the downs. So community to me is a place where you guys are all striving, for success using a similar vehicle, and you guys can all talk about things beyond that vehicle because you have human connection. It's not just real estate, or in someone else's case, it may be stock trading or crypto or whatever vehicle you're using. But you can talk about that vehicle, but also grow as a human being and as a person.
A book you would recommend?
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Hands down, the greatest book I ever read. I felt like every sentence from that book just like uplifted me to just think bigger, think, that it's a possibility, and just inspired, motivate me. And um, I'm not going to show you, but I have a whiteboard on my door to my right, and I forget which chapter from, but it's the self confidence formula that is written in one of the chapters. I think it's like chapter 3, and I used to read it every single day when I woke up and every night before I go to sleep. That book is amazing.
What's the formula?
This formula, so it's uh so you have I kind of just repeat this to myself and I shorten it. So step number 1 is I know that I have the ability to achieve the objective of my definite purpose. Number 2 is I realize the dominating thoughts in my mind will reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Number 3 is I know that any desire I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object. Number 4 is I have clearly written down my chief aim in life. Number 5 is I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. I will succeed by attracting it to myself, by attracting to myself the forces that I wish to use, and I will eliminate hatred, envy, selfishness, jealousy, and cynicism by developing for all humanity, and I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. And those are the 5-step formula to self confidence.
You are an inspiration. You're an inspiration. You have a beautiful voice too.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to listening in on your podcast. Can you share all your socials, your podcast, everything with us? Because, folks, you know what? I have had the blessing and honor in my career over the last 25 years to be part of many people's success and help them grow, be it from, you know, becoming a, Red Star chef or a Red Seal chef or moving into being an award-winning real estate agent. I've had a lot of opportunity, John, I see nothing but huge success because your passion is people. So share with us all of your socials.
Yeah, so if you need anything real estate related, whether it's content or whether, you're a consumer, I'm pretty sure it's more agent facing, but any ideas, follow me at John Mendez Realtor or John Mendez underscore Realtor on Instagram. And then from there, there's a link tree in my bio. So if you want to connect with me anywhere else, that's in my bio. So John Mendez underscore Realtor for everything real estate related. For my podcast, you can either go to my podcast page on Instagram, which is walk number 2 wealth. So walk to wealth. And I also have a link tree there in my bio as well. My podcast is on over 18 directories. I post the full video interviews on YouTube. And right now I'm doing about 3, sometimes 4 short form reels, TikToks, and YouTube shorts as well. So if you want to get some snippets and some stuff that I see that's pre recorded that I'm just blasting out at super high volumes, you can go there as well. But if you do find any value with this podcast, my small, tiny request as a thank you is that to refer with a friend. If I could impact, one more life, you find some value, hopefully, a friend or a family member will find value too.
And what's your quote? You've given us so many gems. What's your quote?
So I gave you a snippet back when I said my mission statement, but the duty of the enlightened is to enlighten the unenlightened. And that's by Plato. I got it from Plato's Allegory of the Cave. I'm not the most philosophical person on the planet, but my English teacher back in high school liked philosophy and he would go off curriculum. I don't remember anything else but that quote. That's the only thing that stuck with me, and it's stuck with me till this day. And now it's in my mission statement.
Folks, I cannot recall. I had a guest. The quote was, um, "If you know something but you do not share it, you may as well have not known it." And I think, John, you have a huge, incredible future ahead of you because you're moving into it for the right reason. You are being of service to the community that you choose. And this is so important because, as everybody who listens and follows me knows, that community is critical. If we want to have a good world for the future generations, we have to strengthen our community. And a community is never just one, right? So, again, this has been like, whew, whew. And you know what? We'll have this, just so you know, this is our live stream. We will be moving this over in 6 to 8 weeks. You'll be able to see, we're going to do a huge shout out. And this is like, John's going to be everywhere through all of our platforms. And then I expect that people will be watching this with pen and paper, writing everything down and have to watch it several times to grab all those gems. John, thank you so much for joining us here today at 500 Doors. Again, I'm your host, Kim Hayden. And remember, behind every door is an opportunity. You just have to look for it. It's all there for you. Until next time, join me at 500-doors.com or on iTunes, Spotify, any other platform you can find 500 Doors Real Estate Podcasts. Bye for now.